Okay, folks, we have Arch Crawford on the line, Crawford Perspectives. Arch, how are you today?
Oh, delightful, sir. How are you?
I am living the dream, just like you, my friend. Arch, we've got a question from one of our listeners, and I think this would be a good time to talk about is how in the world did you get started into astrology? I know you've mentioned it a couple of years ago when I've had you on the show, but do you want to tell the folks, how you got into it and how you became so famous?
Sure. I was in the technical department at Merrill Lynch many, many years ago, and the front page had an article on financial astrology, and it mentioned like 3 or 4 astrologers, and I went and bought. If they had a book, I bought it. I actually met all of them over a period of time. So it was on the front page of the Wall Street Journal.
Do you remember the astrologers, Arch? I know. Sorry for interrupting. Do you remember their names?
David Williams was the most important one, and of course we knew him. You and I both knew him.
How about George Lindsay?
I've rarely ever seen Lindsay mentioned anywhere else, but of course I met him in New York. He came to some of the cycles groups, and I was over his house one day, and he showed me all kinds of his work, which I appreciated.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you certainly became famous. I remember the call that you made about Princess Di on August the 31st, and I think it was 1997. And we were on the phone chatting when we got the news. I remember it was real early on the morning, and you said you mentioned it in the letter, and you certainly had that one nailed pretty good. Are you seeing anything?
What I said in that letter was there was a combination of planets that suggested tragic love, and Diana died within a day or two of that.
Yeah, wow. Sam, Arch, I have some important news for you. You might want to write this down, okay? All love is tragic. It's just a matter of time.
I'm sorry, what?
All love is tragic. It's just a matter of time.
All what is tragic?
Love. All love is tragic. And we've lived through that together, I'm sure, folks, because we've been friends for many years. Arch, what are you seeing in the markets these days? We have a chart here, the VIX Daily. Is that showing you anything that looks interesting?
Well, the market looks higher until it isn't, and I've been expecting it to top any time, and it still hasn't. But it's still overbought on a long-term and intermediate-term basis. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see at least a temporary pullback and another new base being built before it continues to go up higher. But any top in here could be the final top too. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's certainly a lot of things going on in the markets with inflation.
Well, we have a lot of things going on in the sky too. All these very complex things. We've got Mars. I said Mars attacks Pluto in the node, demonstration of violence or brutality in presence of other people.
Well, we're seeing that for
and then
sure.
Mars opposes Pluto on the 5th, and then solar eclipse on the 10th, and then the Saturn squares Uranus on the 4th. This is a hell of a month.
Yeah.
And then 4 hostile or difficult aspects on June the 16th. This is all on the back of the letter.
Wow. This is really, yeah, I know, because some of your calls have been absolutely spectacular. And I know one that you love the most, of course, is the yellow metal. What are you seeing here in the gold market, Sam? Arch, are we going to see $2,000 gold again soon?
Well, what I said was that gold has rallied nicely, returning close to its own 2011 highs. Our expectations are that the current patterns forming may resemble those of the 2011-2012 period, with fairly large swings, but not much continuation in either direction. But in the long term, we expect another multi-hundred spike. So we love gold long term, and we think you should always have a certain amount of the stuff hidden away or somewhere. And eventually, it's not that the gold is going to go up that much; it's that the dollar is going to come down that much.
Mm-hmm. Are you in the school that we're going to see a collapse in the dollar below 88?
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
Whether it's going to happen next week or 10 years from now, I can't say it yet exactly. But we do have a rough batch of aspects this month.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have a chart here on the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. Do you have any comments on this, whether you think it is a bubble or do you think it's real? What is your feeling on that, Arch?
Well, I think it may have been a bubble, and it may have already topped. It's looking fairly toppy, but and it was one of the wildly moving things, and went up and up and up and up, and now it has finally broken the 50-day moving average, and it's down, approaching very close to the 200-day moving average. It should probably get some support there on the short term, but long term, I think we may be finished with the biggest of the speculative items.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now we have one other chart that I'd like for you to comment on, and that is the old black gold, the crude oil, which we're getting ready for. It looks like an upside breakout. Is that what you're looking at?
Well, it's tickling it now. It came up to almost where it was in March. I mean, like within pennies, I think. Mm-hmm. And we went to a new high since March. So that's the only little tick up that supersedes the one that we have now and for several years. So I have to be watchful that it may break out on the upside and just scream. And that could be any hour of any day here now, because it's, as I say, it's fiddling with that multi-year high. Of course, it was higher in 2009. It went way up higher than we are now, but that was a critical period.
In 2009, I thought we made a new high. When we got to 2090, that's the highest gold's ever been. It beat the old 1932 level from August 11th of 2011.
I agree.
Is that okay? Sam, I'm sorry I keep calling you that. We had a nickname. Arch, let me ask you a question. How would the folks would like to see a sample of the newsletter or get in touch with you? What's the best way to do it?
You can email CrawfordPerspectives@earthlink.net or arch.ah.crawford@gmail.com or phone 520-577-1158.
Thank you very much, my friend. We'll have you on again soon. Be safe.
Thank you so much.
Arch Crawford, folks. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Okay, folks, Mr. Z's asked a question here in the den about, do I think gold's going to make the 1959? It certainly could. What I've done here is posted the chart of the gold that we've been watching over the last few days. Remember now, on the the August gold, the Fibonacci number was, the 786 retracement was 1911. And I believe we've been as high as 1919 on that run that we had on Sunday night. We backed off about $30 from that level, and now we're bouncing back up here with a Gartley here at the 1909 level. And so that gives us a relatively, what we think could be a low risk short. We're only going to risk a few dollars on that, but it has to get above that 1919 quickly here, Z, and then it's got a chance to do it easily, because just the expansion of that will take you right up to 1945, and that's really close to the 1959. The problem that I'm seeing here in the gold market is the fact that the open interest has been dropping the last 3 or 4 days. I mean, there's not been any increases in open interest, so this is short covering. That is not a good situation for the market. The problem is it can stay that way for quite some time. Now, I get some complaints about the fact that when I talk about these charts, I say things like, I really don't know what's going to happen next. Hey, Buttercup, let's open the books and talk a little bit out of the Bible. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. I'm just trying to be truthful to you folks. All I do is I look at these patterns, and I know if they go beyond certain levels, they're probably going to go a lot higher, and that's all I'm looking for. I don't try to make amends of where I think it's going to go or where it's going to go. I just say this is where it should go, and if it doesn't, something's wrong. And you try to put the odds in your favor, and that's really all you can. That's what we're watching. No people complains about it, but they ask, why do I, sort of berate myself the fact that I don't know? It's real simple. I don't know. There was a time in my life where I thought I knew, and I got into lots of trouble. I wrote an astrology newsletter for 6 years that was really very, very popular, made a lot of money, and yet, I was only right about 6 out of 10 times. So, that's really what you try to do. Here in the late stages of my 8th furlong race here, all I look for is 15 and 30-minute charts. I look at dailies also to try to find a pattern that allows me to get in without risking very much. And here's a perfect example, folks. Let me just show you one here. This was from early this morning. If you take a look here, we sent this out long before this ever happened. We sent it out in the middle of the night saying to watch a 382 retracement in the ES, and it did. It went right up to the 4205. And we had a stop at 42.10. It went up to 42.09 and then backed all the way down to 41.94, making a 61% retracement. And at that time, I said to lower your stop on this at 42.08, and we got stopped out at 42.8. So we lost 3 points on a contract that's worth about 200 grand. So that's not bad trading. I mean, that's just good money management. The gold one worked out relatively well. We even suggested that it was going to have a $15 rally, in which, in fact, it did. But these are all just ideas that I have, folks. You're the one that has to take the responsibility for these things, and it's I believe me, here at TFNN, I mean, the folks here are just so wonderful. The people in the den and the O'Brien family, they share their information really well. We got people that really give some really good advice with all the speakers and stuff. So it's a matter of learning, but nobody knows what's going to happen next. And the person that does tell you that, don't walk away from them, run away from them, because that's not going to happen. There's never, that's just, that's the unknown that's out there. And that's what trading is all about. It's about the amount of money you have to risk, not how much money you're trying to win. So I posted the chart of the silver that we were expecting the market to make that little rally that we had. And I'm going to bring it up to your, hopefully I'm going to bring it up. Oh, I think I'm going to bring it up. Maybe not. Oh, no, it doesn't look like I'm going to be bringing it up after all. I thought that I would, but it's not going to happen. Wait a minute. It is going to happen. Hold it. Here it is right here. You'll be able to see it. I did have it. There we go. We went right up to the 78% level at 28.60 and change, and we came all the way down to 28.03. We dropped quite a bit. Now, silver also is not having increase in open interest. Now, this does not include the GLD or the SLV. Those are ETFs that I don't follow, and I know that there's a lot of people that use those things, but the big speculators, in my opinion, are in those bullion markets at the CME, and that's what I have to follow. So those open interest figures have been pretty good in the past. Those of you that have been around for many years, if you remember August of 2011, the open interest was just dropping like a rock and the prices were just skyrocketing. And I went through a whole dissertation of why that was bearish, because, the people were leaving the market. And once that's done, there's a vacuum under the market. And so that's what we're paying attention to when we're seeing some of these things unfold here today. The high today that we made here in the S&P today so far, and it's still early, at 42.15 was an exact to the tick 61% retracement from the high that we made at 42.18, I believe, and all the way down to 41.90, then back up. The number was exactly to the tick the 61% retracement. We backed off a little bit off of that level. One other question someone asked about the astrology that Mary Rivers did when I was at Drexel. Folks, all she did was she was looking at the moon in Scorpio, and during that time, silver was bullish. And believe me, we were in a bull market, folks, from 72 all the way up until January the 20th of 1980, and she didn't use stops, so it could go against her 15 or 20 cents. But by the time that the moon came out of Scorpio, it still had a profit. She was just in a very, very heavily biased bull market, and that's why it was so good. We reconstructed all of those trades to see what she was doing, and that's basically what she was doing. She was in a biased market. I mean, when you have that going on, I mean, you got a big advantage, so why not milk it? And she certainly did. So those are just some of the things that were going. The overboughtness that that's not a very good word. The overbought market that we're seeing, we've seen this many times in the past, but this can last for a long time. We're seeing a lot of people that are in the market that probably shouldn't be. These are the folks at what's it called, Greenpeace or something like that, and then Reddit and Robinhood and all these people. They probably shouldn't be in the market at this time at this elevated level, but this is how tops are made, and whether that top will come in or not, I'm not sure. But June is a cruel month, and as Arch just told us, boy, there's some really negative stuff coming in here. Of course, we have that solar eclipse coming in on the 10th, and that's going to be really interesting. Now, Monday, we have Norm Winsky is going to be our guest, and he's going to be talking to us about the eclipse that comes on the 10th. And of course, on the 10th, we will have Tim Bost. We'll be talking about it more and more. So those are a few of the things that we're paying attention to. Regarding the Bitcoin, I don't believe Bitcoin is in a bear market on any stretch of the imagination. All it's done is made these beautiful retracements since it really started trading heavily back in 2011 or 12. You know, all it's basically done is had four. Repeat, in this, we're in the midst of the fifth one. It's had 80% corrections, 80%, folks, and that's in a bull market. And the only way you see that is if you look at that on a log chart, and then if you see it on the log chart, then you'll be able to see that. Yes, Bo, that's exactly what you had been doing. 42.15 would have been the short. We'll be right back, folks.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of the Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, I've posted a chart of the Tesla. Mr. Z was asking about the price of it. Folks, when I put this in the newsletter and I make a comment, I'm showing the 382 retracements that we've gone through many times. It took 8 days for that to make a 382 retracement, which for a stock that's trading around $600 is not very strong. And that's the only reason that I was looking at it. At that particular point, If it went above 636, that would tell me that that pattern was most probably wrong. Now, this one happened to work. It's trading around, I was just told it was trading around 603 right now. I don't know where the profit objective is looking. I haven't even checked it at all. But all I was looking at is when that trade was put on, I knew that the probability of me winning was better than 6 out of 10. The odds of me with a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio was extremely high because I was only risking $10, and as you can see here, it's already made 35. So you've already tripled what your original risk was. So you're down in a zone now where you certainly don't want to lose any money. So if this were my position, and I don't have any shares like this at all, I would raise my stop up to $16.21. That would lock in a $15 profit. And if this is truly a C leg of an ABCD leg, you're looking at Tesla trading way down in the below 500s, folks. I'm talking 510 is what the profit or what the ABCD pattern of that would be. Now that's a long way. Remember, Tesla's been all over the map, so it can easily do that. So these are the things that you want to remember. Remember, when you're looking at these charts, they are telling you that it is only a probability. It's never a certainty, and you must think like a winner. A winner thinks, how much money can I lose? A loser thinks, how much money I can win. That's why they have all these things lit up on slot machines and stuff like that. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. We'll see you on the flip side tomorrow. And remember, on Friday, we have Jeff Huge of Alpha Insights is going to be our guest. Hopefully, we're going to have Jerome Bressert on tomorrow. And may God bless.